We are back again with the Service Cloud session. So as you know about me, the speaker. So that's the simple question. Just forget about the Service Cloud. We are done with the Sales Cloud. So the simple question arises: why do we need Service Cloud? Why we need Service Cloud? That's the basic question that arises. That why we need Service Cloud. So answer is we need it because just like you need lifetime service of a car. Suppose you have bought your car and you need the service of your product, right? You need the service, right? That's why customer always need the service after purchasing it. Any product you are purchasing, then you need the service, right? You can have any question also. By service doesn't mean the repair. Like you can have any question, any demo question also. So you need the service, right? Like just after Sales Cloud, some of guys were asking questions to Ms. Khyati and Mr. Anand. So that is the service which they are providing, right? So once we will once we sell the product, customer will ask for your service, right? So that's why we need service. After we are selling anything through Sales Cloud or any product you are selling, you have to provide the service. Now that doesn't mean if you bought anything to eat and you have eat it and after that you are asking for the service, so that is a negotiable, or you can say that is a negative case. But yes, you need a service after selling a product. Like the big companies like Parley or Britannia, they are providing the service out, right? So do you know Service Cloud? So basically it is another product provided by the Salesforce, just like Sales Cloud. Okay, so Sales Cloud is used to enhance your sales, and Service Cloud is used once you have sold the product. After that you have to provide the service. That where Service Cloud comes into the picture. So Service Cloud is usually used to provide the service to the customers for the product you have already sold, or maybe for some another purpose for the campaign or any stuff. But it is basically to provide the service to your customers, to your leads, to your campaign, anything. Now in this, the lead is not the main object. Here is some another object which about which we will discuss very soon. It provide better customer support and better customer service. Obviously, if you are providing service from man to man, suppose a person is coming to you at your office, and there will be a very huge line. Definitely COVID is going on, so it's better to use Salesforce and just raise a case or raise a question, and they will provide the service online, right? If the online solution is possible. So that's the simplest solution. Customer support and better customer services, that is the thing. So that at whom you can get the service, right? It stores any feedback from its customer and have service agent to solve the queries. Yes, whatever feedback you will give, whatever question the customer is having, the Sales Service Cloud will store it, will provide the solution for the it, and for that definitely they are having the service agent. The CEO of the company is not going to come to you to solve the problem, right? So definitely there will be agents. Provide and tracks excellent service. Yes, they are providing excellent service. That is the better option. Increase customer satisfaction. Yes, if the customer will get the feedback as soon as possible with a better approach and with the better consultant for that particular problem, then yes, customer will get satisfied. Customer can reach via multiple channels. Now, yes, that is very true. Just like leads, leads are coming through different channels. Similarly, the questions or customer can reach you via multiple channels in this Service Cloud also. So suppose if like currently many of the guys are having questions, they are asking virtually, they are asking in the chat box. Maybe some of them will DM in the Telegram book, some of them will DM in the WhatsApp group, some of them will find some of us in LinkedIn profile and they are going to text there. So is it possible that we are going multiple channel at a single time and provide the solutions in a single time for every question? No, it is not possible. It is possible, but it is very time taking, right? It's going to take a long period of time for you to grab even and even so after some time, maybe someone will get frustrated, like why I'm answering because there is a state of mind. Okay, that doesn't mean that we are not going to answer your queries. Definitely we will. Relax. Okay, so there are multiple channels, but that what Service Cloud do, just like leads were doing a bottleneck situation for the Sales Cloud, there is an object which is creating a bottleneck for all the services in the Service Cloud that we are going to discuss very soon. So this is the main feature of Service Cloud. Service console, knowledge base, service control, customer service, live agent, mobile platform, Service Cloud communication. So that's what we are going to discuss. What do you mean by service in Service Cloud? As we have already discussed, it means to provide a support to the customer for the product that you have sold to the customer. The term services refers to a wide range of services delivered on demand to companies and customers over the internet. These services are designed to provide easy, affordable access of applications and resources without the need of internal infrastructure or hardware. Definitely. To get these stuff to any case or anything, you do not need to set up a particular customer care center to spend a lot of money to have a lot of person or to have a lot of receptionist guy who are going to take your queries and note it down in the diaries, and then they're gonna come, they're gonna take the file just like old banking services. Yes, now PN is going to take the file to some other table, then the banker is going to do the stuff, then some other banker is going to do the stuff. This all system is sorted now. You just have a raise a case. You just need your internet and your browser. We are going to provide you the link. You can raise a case. You can raise your question. You can raise your query. You can raise your feedback. And the agent from the Salesforce side, or not from the Salesforce side, from the business side, who is using the Salesforce system, will provide you the best answer for you, or the best solution for you, or the best guidance for you. So, with the help of which, definitely it will be very easy for you, a very less time taking for you as well, because it will be very less time taking, plus you can get the service accept as soon as possible. You do not have to wait, and you do not have to see, no, the banking has a lunch time on, we have to wait for 1 hour. No, that is not the scenario in Service Cloud. You can just put a question, and definitely service agent will reach you very soon. Now the business hours is always dependent on the business. Again, red line came. Okay. Why we use Service Cloud? Exactly. Why should we use Service Cloud? We can use some another thing. We can take a diary, we can note it down, or we can just take a system. A person can came to us, and this. The main thing is it is cloud based. It is highly customized. You can customize this according to your business, which means what type of business you are having, you can put it on. Then that whole stuff is totally dependent on the business. That what type of functionality you want in your any of the cloud, not as specifically in Service Cloud, in Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Community Cloud, any cloud. That's totally dependent on the business or the customer's business, that what you are having. Like if you are having your business, I cannot design your system according to myself. I know how Salesforce works, and how can we bend your business into the Salesforce. I mean, sorry, how can we bend the Salesforce for your business? Your business will be same. Salesforce is going to help it, help for it. Okay. It is totally dependent. The third point, it is totally dependent on the industry, as any industry can use it. Yes, as I told you, it is business dependent. For this, you just need business browser and internet. Definitely, you do not need even any car or any. You do not have to spend any kind of gas expenses or petrol expenses to reach somewhere. You just have to raise a case, and the service will come at your doorstep. So we can connect one to one with every customer across multiple channels. Yes, on multiple channels, we can get the queries and we can put it on a one shed. Any industry can use this according to their business. Yes, it is totally dependent on the business. Hmm. What are the benefits of Service Cloud for the agent? That's the main question arises, because Service Cloud is providing a service. There are two sides of everything, right? First, Service Cloud is having a face for the customers. Second, Service Cloud is also having the face for the agents who are going to solve the problem. So how the agents are having benefits? The customer is also having the benefits, but yes, agents should also have the benefits. Now, we are Salesforce developers, or we are going to become Salesforce developers. We are going to provide the benefits for the people's business. What is our benefit for this? Right? Our benefit actually is the growth, right? In the real scenario, or better learning. That is the main thing, that you're going to learn a new stuff. You are making a new world for the whole world, a better virtual world. With the help, you are helping the whole world in the easiest way. In other way, IT people are making world more lazy, but that's good. A customer service agent is the individual who supports a brand customer via phone, chat, email, messaging, social, and or other channels. It supports all channels from one screen. Yes, you can. Anyone can put a case on anywhere, just like I gave example in the chat, LinkedIn. You are asking us the questions on Telegram, WhatsApp. But suppose what happened if we are having some one page, just like this is the one page. You can answer it there. You can question there, and that one page is going to assign that question, suppose some questions to me, some questions to Mr. Anand, and some questions to Ms. Khyati, then definitely how easy it will be to get the solutions for you guys, right? So that's it, support all the channel. It's creating a bottleneck so that you can easily access each and every question one by one. It helps to access tools and data in a single unified view, service console. Now, what is this? We are going to discuss this definitely. It routes issue to right screen. Yes, it will take the right question to the right person. Suppose if someone is coming to me and asking that how can we open the engine of a car, then definitely I cannot tell it. A mechanical engineer is required. I can only tell you the solutioning for the Salesforce, right? If someone is coming to ask me for how to make food, then definitely I cannot tell, or maybe if I can tell, then I'm not the desired person, right? I will not be the perfect. So that's the thing. It will reside your route your perfect issue to the perfect person. It helps agent to resolve cases after by tracking key metrics of our improvement. If there is any improvement, then it will help you. It will help the agent to resolve it in a better way. It helps to improve customers agent productivity. Definitely, it will help the in the productivity scenario, because suppose there are 10 agents, then okay, and there are a list of 1000 queries, then okay, we are dividing, okay, this query is for you, this query is for you, this is going to take the time. Now agent will also have the best point for them, like okay, I will choose my cases from my own. So this will take the time, and this will also create the chaos between the agents, that why are you getting this much and why I'm getting this much. That can also be the case. So it automatically divides the questions according to the skill set of the agent. So every agent will have their own scenarios, have their own skill set, according to that, according to which the agent is going to get the queries from the customer. Next, what are the benefits of the service cloud for the customers? Now we got the agents. What are the benefits for the customer? But we have already discussed. It offers excellent customer service from all over the world, go anywhere on any device. Definitely, if you are traveling somewhere and you are having the query, then definitely you can put it there and simply get the service. Like currently, we are having roadside assistant in the cars. Like previously, there were when there were not any roadside assistant for the cars. What we used to do when our car got crashed or some any mishap happened, then somehow we tackle the situation and we used to get to the service center. Then only the service center will take care of. But currently, what we are having, many of the companies are providing roadside assistance. Like Kia is providing, Mahindra is providing, and many other companies are providing roadside assistant. So with the why there it is just for the benefit of the customer. Like if you are facing any problem anytime, just call on a number or just text them. They will be there in very just half hour or 1 hour according to the situation. So definitely they will reach you. So you can go anywhere and you can raise a question on any device. Just you need your internet. That's it. You should be connected, and that's it. You can get the service aligned with the latest trends and technologies. Definitely, there will be, we can increase the trends and technologies according to the latest scenarios. We can increase the behavior of service solving things. It sends immediate response to queries. Definitely, there are some rules in the case which can send the response to the users. Suppose if you are busy in some stuff, the agent is busy in some stuff, and you cannot send the response to the query, then there are some response rules. Sorry, there are some response rules in the system which you can use to um, uh, provide the quick response without even saying that what is the query. Now that doesn't mean that response is going to assign the solution to them. You can make it a custom approach or something like that, but response means that can you remember that whenever you fill any form or something from the government site or any registration form, then just after clicking on the submit button, a quick message or mail comes to you that thank you for reaching us, we have taken your service and sorry, we have taken your question and definitely will get back to you soon. That is the response, so that the customer will get it that yes, I'm getting the stuff. They are connecting with me. There are currently now chat bots also which are going to chat as the customer is sending you a text, they are going to chat you back. Okay, so these are the stuff. Auto escalate important issues before emergency. Yes, this service cloud is having this auto escalate feature, which I'm going to show in you a demo. That suppose there is one query which is put aside, and suppose there is one task for me, I forgot to work on it, and now it's pending. So before getting a mail or something special comment from my manager side or from the senior post, that rule is gonna poke me. that this thing is pending from your side, brother. Please work on it. So that's the auto escalation rules that we are going to see in demo. Keep all your information organized in one centralized location. So put your all information centralized in one location. So customer can pull all the queries in one thing and can get the solution. Right? Features of Service Cloud. These are some features provided by the Service Cloud. Lighting Service Console, case management, case escalation rules, case auto response rule, case escalation rules, and web to case, email to case. Now you can also say like these are the features, or web to case, email to case. These are the things from where you can get the cases. These are multiple. These are all. This stuff is also included in multiple channels from where you can get the case. Now we are again saying case. So I'll tell you what is case. So this is the service console. What is service console? Before reading this, let me show you. Okay, because once we will see, then we will be more familiar. Okay, I have just go click on this app launcher. Sorry. First of all, in Service Cloud, currently, as you know that we were on sale, so select the service, or you can directly go to service. But let me show you service. So this is the Service Cloud. By going to this 9 tabs, or in classic view, there will be a drop down on the right side from which you can change your cloud. So currently, this is our Service Cloud. Some of the objects will get changed, and how you can assure that you are a Service Cloud user. So let's again open the users. Search here for users, click on it. Multiple users. Suppose let me check for my user. Okay. There are multiple licenses, and this checkbox should be checked for the Service Cloud user. Now, how can you check your licenses, right? How licenses you are having for, sorry. Company information. In company information, slide down. And these are the multiple licenses for marketing user, knowledge user, and there must be, yeah, Service Cloud user. See, this is developer org. Whenever you create a developer org, which I showed you in the starting of the Sales Cloud session. So whenever you create it, just go to company information, and you will get to know that this much licenses you are having for this and this license. And currently for Service Cloud, I am having 2, for which I have 1 used for myself, and 1 is still pending. So the license which I have used is through this only. Users. Kaur Kapoor. Whenever you click on this Service Cloud user, just click on edit button. And this is Service Cloud user. You can unselect it also. Just select it and save it. It is going to use one of your license. Okay. After that, you will be organized, or it will give you the allowance for the Service Cloud. Okay. This is the Service Cloud. And as we were on, what is Service Console? So just again go to this, and here, yeah, Service Console is coming. Just click on it. Yeah. So this is the Service Console. Yeah. So Service Console will show you all the cases. Okay, it is showing you knowledge. Let's open case here. So as you were again saying, what is case? What is case? So all of your queries which comes from multiple channels in Salesforce, we are having again a standard object case, just like leads. We were having leads, now we are having case. Case is a standard object which definitely we are going to discuss. So this is the Service Console. It will show you all the cases. Now the better approach is just not like other accounts and opportunities. You have to click on the tab, and you can just click on the record. It is going to open in a separate tab. See, you can work on multiple cases at a one time. So it will help the agent to solve the queries one after the another, right? It will be very helpful. You can also cut it down. That's it. That's what Service Console is, and it is the heart of I must say Service Cloud. Okay. So the Service Cloud is the heart of the Service Cloud. It shows multiple cases. It's very user friendly. Yet it is showing multiple cases at a single time. You can open all the cases one after the another. It is very user friendly. Yes, it is very easy. You can get all the stuff here, can manage all the close cases, open cases, everything you can get here, and you can open it one by one and start working. Quick response to the customers. Yes, it is very quick in response. The app meets all the service needs, so you can customize to make it your own. Help to increase agent productivity. Yes, if they are having all the system on the one screen, then agent productivity will get increased. They do not have to go back, search for different record, open it, and then open it in two tabs, match it. This is just helping in a simplest way. That's how console view works, right? And you can also create your customized custom application in a custom in a console view. Now, how customer will get the service? We are again and again saying that yes, we are going to provide the service. We are going to provide the service. So the customer is putting us a question: how? That's where case enters into the picture. As I've told you, case is the object which is used to provide the service. Whenever any question arises, then we are saving that question in case object. Customer will raise a question for agent, and that question will get solved through a case. The case is the question, right? Suppose I am having a query that my car is damaged, and I want to talk with the that what is the department they usually repairs the insurance department, right? Then I want to raise a question to the insurance department. That what I will do, I will put a mail and I will ask the question, and that question, if that insurance department is suppose using the Salesforce system, then in that insurance department, that question is going to save as a case object, as a case record, right, in the case object. So that's how case works. This is service console layout. As I've already shown you, this is stuff. You can get multiple stuff and everything. That's the service console layout. What is case? Case is a standard object in Salesforce. It stores customers' questions, feedback, and issues. Definitely, a customer will put a question. You can have to provide them the answer, and there will be issue written. So that's all the things stored in the case. Let me show you a case record. Okay, yeah, this is case. This is new priority. You can also set subject. You can also set. Okay, these are the some of the features which you can status. You can also select. Okay, 1 second. Let me go to Service Cloud. Cases. See, these are the stuff which you can already set. This is case, post, log a call, poll, email, you can generate it. These are the details. Case number. Every case has a case number which is auto generated. Okay. This is the status. You can set the priority of the case. Then at what priority it is. You can paste the details of the contact. That what is the customer? How can we contact that person? So this is the stuff. And what is the type of case? Like suppose I told you it is a car. Where I got an insurance thing. So this is a mechanical stuff. You can say it with electrical, electronics, structural. You can also add your more features. Okay. And what is the origin of the case? Like from where you are getting the case, phone, you are getting the case from the email, you're getting the web to case thing, or you can add multiple options here also. These are the fields, and you can also create multiple, you can say custom fields. And these are the internal comments that is used by the agent to put the comment on. Like suppose you're getting a case, but you are thinking like this is a fraud case. Okay, this is the user is getting fraud, so you can write it here, and the user will not be able to see it. Okay, that's the stuff. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah, what are the sources to raise the case? So guys, if you
Gaurav,
wanna,
1 minute.
yeah,
Here I'm having a doubt. What is the difference between sales console, service console? 4 applications we are using now.
see,
So,
say through sales and service, you can get into the cloud. Sales console is the easiest way to handle the whole sales cloud, like lead in the easiest way. It is just a console view. Don't get confused. It is not like that service is different and service console is different. Sales is different and service sales console is different. No. Just like what I should say. We know that we are all having all applications in a for in the app menu, right?
yeah.
App menu is having all the stuff. But what we do, we create a new homepage to get easiest way to access the most used apps, right?
Okay.
Getting so service console is the homepage view, or you can say is the easiest console view through which you can access the cases in the easiest way.
Okay. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Thank you,
Gaurav,
Gaurav.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
I think, call center is a perfect example for service console or
Definitely.
service cloud, right? So my question is, if somebody is working in a call center of a health department
Mm-hmm.
or a hospital, private hospital,
Yeah.
like if a private hospital is there and they have a call center to admit patient, so they
Mhm.
should be using Service Console or they should be using Health Cloud?
See, this whole stuff is dependent on the business. Okay. I have worked on a project which is totally healthcare department, and here there we were using health department. Now, if you are handling the details of the customer,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so definitely you need health cloud. Okay, because
Okay.
that will totally describe your health, your doctor system, and everything. That cloud is having all the stuff. Okay. Similarly, we are also having education cloud. If in the service case, you can also put an example like what if we are having the college scenario instead of hospital scenario. So for that, we are having education cloud, right?
Okay.
I have also
Mm-hmm.
worked on that. If you have thought about, there is a very big university like we are having IIT in India. We are having Education Center of Australia, which is controlling all the colleges among Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that the whole system of the ECA Education Center of Australia is controlled by the Salesforce, which we have made. Okay,
Okay.
so at that
Mm-hmm.
point we are using education, but if someone is having the query, then we use Service Cloud. Okay, got it?
So my question is, actually, I understood that somebody is having a query. So
Mhm.
for an example, you are a hospital, you are running a private hospital, and
Okay.
wherein you are having a call center which handle all your queries about how to get an admission, how to have a bed, or how
Mhm.
which doctor will be handling, or
Yep.
all kind of information. So
Mhm.
in that case, should he be using, if you have to set up a organization or set up a
See,
cloud, which cloud you should be choosing?
so for that, what Sales Cloud is, Service Cloud is offering. Service Cloud is having knowledge articles. Okay, that we're gonna discuss further. So what
Mhm.
knowledge article is? Suppose if you have any query, like hospital example you are giving, and you want to know that how we can book a bed. Okay, so you usually do not go to reception and ask that how we can book a bed. You just open the website and see the stuff. So Salesforce is having the community. Okay,
Mhm.
in that community they are having a lot number of question and the services tab, you can say. So that depends on the business, that how they are providing the services to the system. If they are having a community or the stuff, so they can provide this basic question and stuff on the one page only, so user can get the steps from there. Now the
Mhm.
main question arises that how can you get the service from the hospital is, suppose once the customer is discharged
Mhm.
from the hospital after taking the whole system. Okay, or the
Mhm.
customer is still inside the hospital and taking the features. Now the details of the customer are stored in the health cloud, and the services what they are getting. Suppose the customer raised that I also want to have this and this test also, then the customer can put a case. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
that's how we can use the Service Cloud, but still that's totally dependent on the business, that how user wants to enhance the clouds. Okay, although this is not in practice, like if Salesforce has provided the Service Cloud, so you can create a custom approach in the Sales Cloud also to get the case, but that is definitely not a best practice. And Salesforce is also having the limitations and the restrictions for that, that if Salesforce is providing something standardly, then you cannot make it with a custom approach.
Okay.
Hello,
Mhm.
here one doubt.
Yeah.
Uh, Service console and service, what is the difference? Clearly with example, please.
As I just explained that you are using your phone, right? In phone, we are having the app menu, which is having all of the apps, right?
Okay,
So it's very difficult to search app one and again go. So what we do, we drag the app on the home page,
okay,
right? So we can easily access it. Service console is just like a home page for the service.
okay.
So you can easily access your cases one by one.
But all the tabs is not available. Service cloud, service uh, object having more tabs, but service console having two
One.
tabs.
Yes, exactly. See, this is Service Cloud. Let me create duplicate of this.
That's why I.
1 second. Let me show you. See, this is the Service Cloud. It is showing you all of the tabs. Okay, you can work on it. Now, suppose you are the agent. You want to work on the case. So you are having this case. What you will do? You are working. Now I want to match some another record. I will go again back here. Okay. And but in Service Cloud, you are having all the stuff here. Plus, this Service Console is also available for the chatting purpose that we are going to discuss. We are having live chat scenario. We are having Omni channel. That is also used in Service Console that we are going to discuss. See, we are having Omni channel. Currently, it's offline. So in coming demos, you are going to see that how Service Console is going to be useful for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So guys, we have here. What are the sources to raise a case? These are some of the cases through which you can raise a case. Log a case online, call support, email support, call sales, email to case, log a case manually, CTI integrations, and case definitions. The case is created, definitely. So this is again a 4-lane highway, and the case is created is the bottleneck. So you can you can see every car one by one and check it. Got it? And these are the multiple cases through which you can have the cases. Let's come to the next slide. Let's create a case. So we can have a number to create a case. We can click a new. So yes, guys, what details we are having? First of all, we can have the contact. Suppose this Abhay Gentle is the contact regarding which this query is. Let's connect it. We can select the connected account also. Okay. What is the status? This is new, working, escalated, or in progress. You can raise a case. Suppose there is a previous case which is already escalated, so we can also raise a case for that question again. That why, and any status you can provide that in which status the case is. You can also edit this system. Now, what is the priority of the case? High, medium, low. Okay, at what priority it is important? It is just you. I want this done by end of day, or this is a low priority. You can do it in your coming week. Okay, that's how. Case origin, from where it is coming. Okay, you can put it phone. What is the type of case? Mechanical, architect, electrical, electronic, any other. Okay, you can also put some extra. Case reason. What is the reason of the case installation? For what reason breakdown? Suppose your car is breakdown. I need to raise a case for the installation of my new Samsung TV. I want to raise a case for the feedback service. Okay, that's how. You can also select the opportunities, web information, from where web mail, web company. These are the different things. Description. Now we have filled up all the information, but what is the main thing? So you can write the subject about what your case is. You can describe it in a more explained way, like this and this is the problem. My subject is car broken. Okay, like description how the car is broken. So I can explain that how it happened. Suppose some accident happened or some tire got burst, some engine problem is there. So I can explain it in every, and just save it. It will get created. Okay, the all details will be here.
Gaurav, one small question here.
Yeah.
So all the cases will be created manually only, right? So we cannot create automatically the cases.
Definitely, no, we can definitely we can, and we are going to show you that thing in the demo in the coming up slides.
Thank you.
Yeah, just stick to it. We are going to show. So yeah, case management. How you can manage the cases. Now you are having, as ma'am, one of us said that you are, suppose you are having a call center. Okay, so that call center never runs. Okay, this is your job, this is your system. Just put the earphones on and start working. That's not how it works. You have to manage the whole call center, right? You have the settings, you have the hours, you have the holidays. So let me show you. First of all, it is saying support settings. So just go to setup, type support settings. Yeah, so this is the support setting. Click on edit button. For every support purpose, you can have this. These are the different support settings. On left side, we are the settings, and on right side, there is a description. So if you go to your org and see, there are multiple options available for everything. Like case creation template you can give, case assign template you can give, case close template you can give, new cases visible in portal or you do not want to get visible in the portal. Enable case notification to context. Like if someone commented on your case, then it should be you should get a notification or not. You can also get it. Case comment template, everything, every setting you have for this, right? You can manage your whole service system with the help of this one. Got it? Now another thing we have business hours. It itself describe, sorry, business hours. What is business hours? If you are doing a job or if you are going to a college, or then definitely there are some specified hours that you have to spend. Like college is from 8 to 6 or 8 to 5. So that is your business hours. The college is working from 8 to 5. Suppose if you are doing job 10 to 8, then that is the 10 to 5. That is the business hours. Similarly, call center also have the hours. Like if you want to take any kind of query on the call center, then if you search any number, okay, then there will be written like this is the number and this is the hours where at what time you can call. So we are operating at this time. So here you can set the hours. We are having a default system. You can also create new one, and this will show you on Sunday 24 hours, Monday 20. For every day you can set different system. Got it? That's how business hour works. Holiday. So let's see holiday. I clicked on it. Come on. Yeah. So you can click like I'm having already a holiday new year. You can create your new holiday records among the year, because Salesforce system is not described to a single country or a single origin, right? Every country have different origin. Every state have different holidays. So according to the area or according to your business, you can set up your holidays. Got it? So that will be permanent holidays where Service Cloud will be off, or you can manage it according to your custom requirement. Let's move. Oops. Some multiple ways to create a case. Yes, just someone said that can we create case just manually? No, these are the things. Email case, you can email to case. We can create a system inside a Salesforce through which someone will just email on a link and it will automatically create a case. Web to case, we can make a custom form, or there is a web to case functionality in the Salesforce through which there will be a code will be given, and you can paste it on any of your site and just fill the details. It will create a case. Manual case is just by clicking on the new button, and automated process, it will automatically create the case with multiple resources. Now let's see one by one each of it. Email to case. Set a particular email on which user will send the mail and it will auto create the case. Now let's see it. As I told you, we will show you. So we are having email to case. So guys, this is the basic stuff. You can read it out. It is gonna explain you every key feature about email to case, and this is the option for everything. It is gonna come like everything means email to case, web to case, and every feature inside Salesforce. You can click on it. Like, don't show this page again. So it will not show you again. And if you do not click it, it will show you again whenever you will open. So yep, this is the email to case where you can set up email to case. Just let me routing address. This is the stuff before that. So first of all, you have to activate your email to case functionality. After that, you can also set your on-demand service. Like if email is getting bounced and discard, you can set different setup. Just click on save button. Now routing address, that is the email to case stuff. Routing address, what is this? We are having this already one. Let me show you. So you can put here your email address. Suppose you are having your email address abc@abc.com. Like this is your company's address, and you want like someone whenever mails to this address, your case should automatically get generated. So you can put that email address here and provide your routing name, anything you want. Suppose this is production support, or you can say your this is my support 1, this is my tier 2 support. You can put the name and just task status. This is your case owner. Like whatever the case will get generated through this feature, means through email to case feature, whatever case is coming to your email address, this guy is going to be the user. Currently I have selected mine. You can change here to queue also. As I told you, queue is the list of users. So if you select the queue, then that is group of users, what that queue is having will be the owner of that case. Okay, you can set the priority, you can set the case origin also from here. Okay, just click on save button. After that, it is going to provide you this. Can you see this email address? Right. So suppose you are having a business and your requirement is like I'm having a website created on some another platform which is not even connected to Salesforce. So what I want, that I want to give a link on that website that please raise a case, or if you have any queries, please click here. So I want that whenever the user click on it, a box should get open, and a mail box, and through that a case should get generated. So what we will do, we will provide this direct email service address, so that user can use in that website. Doesn't matter on what language and on which project which language that site is, PHP, HTML, anything, any basic stuff or any high to high stuff. Just provide this address. Their developer will use it to make a front view or just an anchor click, and you will get the mail in your system, and it will automatically create a case. That's it. That's how email to case works. It is very beneficial, guys, because in some of the system, users have multiple websites, and they say like, I want to create a case directly through here. I do not want to user get escalated or get go to somewhere else from this website, but I need to raise a case. So that's the better option that we use. That's the best option instead of diverting it to a case record or to some extra dummy, you can say, custom web page created in Salesforce to create a case. This is the best option. Just create email to case and give the link to them. They will use in their website, and you will get the details in your org. That is the best feature. Another feature, and yes, before another feature, there is a limitation, guys. I'm having 2 licenses, so that means 2000 emails per day. Suppose you're having 1 license, so 1000 emails per day. That is the limit of the email to case. So with the help of this, you can calculate that how many emails you can get, and according to this, you can buy your license. Yes, you have to buy your license, and license doesn't only limit emails. License also have a lot of limits, and this is one of the limits. Okay, let's move to next slide. Web to case functionality. What is this now? Web to case call will store the case automatically from web form. Now, web to case can be done with multiple ways. One scenario, you can create your web to case, which I'm going to show you. And second scenario is you can create a custom web page. Like normally a demand came from the person like, okay, this is web to case, or there is also web to lead, and I want a custom form through which I want to get the lead, or I want a custom form with this and this requirement through which I want to get a case, right? Because there can be a registration scenario. Like suppose someone said that, okay, I want a single screen whenever the user is submitting. I want to create so and so record plus a case. Okay, so through that also, that will be a custom approach, and that's totally dependent on the business or your customer, that what kind of business they are expecting. According to that only, we can create a web form, and it will be helpful to get the case. Now, let's move to web to case. You just have to again go to setup, web to case. Similarly, we are having web to lead also. Both features are similar. I am going to show you example for the web to case. Similarly, you can go to web to lead. Just the difference is it is going to save your record in the case object, and it is going to save your record in the lead object. Let's go to web to case. Come on. Okay. Yeah. First of all, make it active. Enable web to case. Recapture you can set. Second thing is support case created. Email signature you can also set. Click on save button. That's it. This is the web to case system. After that, now this is saved. We have enabled the web to case, everything. Now, what is the web page through which the user will send the details? Just click on web to case HTML generator. Okay. So what you can do, you can add your all the fields, whatever you want in your custom web page. Got it? Like suppose I want contact name, email, phone, subject. No, this is not enough for me. I want to add the company also. I want to add state type, what type of case you are having. So these are the fields you can add, and you can remove also, right? And you can make it up down also. Like I suppose I want phone under email. So it will be here. You can set it up. Now, this is going to generate one code, which I'm going to show you after clicking submitting button on that record, where you want the user to get redirected. Just I gave you the example, like in the email case. Suppose that user said that I do not want my user to get redirected to some another page. Or if they are redirecting, that I want that user to get back to my previous case, my previous page. Okay, so in that scenario, we can use this scenario. We can use web to case. We can select the fields. After that, we have to provide the email address. Suppose I want my user that whenever user click on submit button, the user should get back to the Google page, just blank home. So I can select this up. Recaptcha I can select. Let's select it out. I'm having one basic one. Okay, so and then click on generate button. Now this is the code, guys. See, it is having all the stuff, and if you read it carefully, na, see in starting it is having note and this everything, script and every stuff. But if you read it carefully, if you are a developer, you will get to know they are not creating anything much more than just a label and input stuff. That's it. Okay, So this is also just think behind it. What Web2 case is doing. A developer can think this. Web2 case is doing nothing. Just we are sending him the name of the fields, and they are iterating that name of the fields to iterating this label and input according to the number of fields you have selected. That's it. Now, if they do not want to create a web page manually, this is the basic stuff. Just select it out, copy it, and provide to them. They will paste this in their website, and this is going to start working. But this is a very basic stuff. Very basic stuff. You designing and everything will be separate from this. This will be just like name box, name box, name box. Simple, very simple. So this is a Web2 case which you can use for the easy stuff, but usually you have to redesign it because it's not good when you look at it. So let's move to the next slide. Manual case, as I have shown you. Yeah, case. So this is the manual case. If you click here, you can just click on the new button and you can create a new case, like we just created car broken. See, okay. Now this is service console view. Here also you can create a case. Just click here, drop down menu, and click on new button. It is going to open a new case. Make it and save it. It is going to save here. Like suppose case origin is email, and that's the basic stuff. Just save it. See, it is created and open up here only. Got it? It will directly get open here. That's how Service Console also helps you in ease. Okay. That's a manual case. Do you know about support process? If we were having sales process, do you know anything about support process, guys? What is support process? Any ideas? Question for you?
Customer service.
Great one.
Steps to follow when we give
Perfect
service
answer.
to customer.
Yeah, exact. I think Mr. Sandeep it was. Sorry if I'm wrong. Step to process your case. Exactly. So what I can do, I can show you the support process here. Just go to setup and look for support process. Okay, we are already having it. See, support processes. Now, what is the reason you can create multiple support process? That's also the thing. I'm having already one support process. Let me show you. Yeah. So support process is showing this here. Now, what is these things? Okay, let me show you. Where is my case? Set to case. Yeah, go to case object. Go to fields. There will be one status field here. Status. See what options you are having here. New working escalated closed in progress. Right. And what options you new working escalated closed in progress 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3 4 5. These are the stuff which are available in the sales support process. Like now, why do we need it? Currently, we are having one. I hope you guys are familiar with the record type. Record type is the stuff where you can have different type of cases. Okay. Now, suppose you are having you are supporting for two things. Like suppose you are supporting for a car factory, Mahindra. Okay. And another you are supporting for, I must say, what example is a hospital. Okay. You are supporting for a hospital. Now, what are the common features that you can have in your support process? The case can be new, the case can be under working, the case can be escalated, the case can be closed, the case can be in progress. Now, suppose the Mahindra said that I want one more support process, one more status that I need under construction, okay, or in service. So what we will do, we will go here in the status field just in the pick list view, create one more, click on new button and add under construction. Okay. Now it will give you the support process. Currently we are having one support process whose name is support process only. See, the name is support process. If you have multiple support process, then it is going to show you all the options here. Suppose I'm having, let's create one more support process. New. New master support name Mahindra. Description you want to give, then you can click on save button. Okay, this is having this stuff. Now let's refresh stuff. See, it is not showing you two. And if I type it, under construction, and I want this to be added in Mahindra only. I can add it here also, but I do not want. I want to add this support process only in Mahindra. Okay, let's save it. And now this is the support process. Refresh it, and this is the Mahindra one, right? See, in support process, one more came, but it is not available. I mean, it is available, but it is not selected. Okay. But in Mahindra, it is now available under construction. Okay. So now what is happening if you are using a service cloud for multiple supports? Okay. So you can create different support process for your different businesses, and you can assign this support process to multiple record types. Suppose in the case I'm also having two record types. One is car facility, automobile, and one is your hospitality. Okay, so the customer which is coming from the hospital side will select the hospital, and that person is going to see these in the support process, not under construction. But if the customer is coming from the Mahindra or from the automobile sector, then it is going to see these support process, these selected values, including under construction. So according to this, you can create n number of support process with your n number of record types, and you can assign different support process to your different processes. Or in a single process, you can create different diversions according to your business. Got it? That's how support process works. You can have multiple support process connected with different record types. You can assign different page layouts also. Yes. Sorry. Once you have the record type, you can assign different page layout. Like suppose to Mahindra, I do not want to show some particular kind of field, but in the hospitality, I want to show the description of the other details about the patient. Suppose there is a field details about patient. In hospital record type, if we are showing it is good, but what we will show in the details of patient to Mahindra users or to automobile users? So what we will do, we will make some more record types according to which we can assign it. We can assign the page layout to different record types, and different users from different record types will see different pages. But see, the main picture, it is a single case. So with a single case, you can see how n number of scenarios. Right. So let's move further. Yes, case assignment rule. Just like we were having lead assignment rule, we are similarly having case assignment. Now, what is case assignment rule? Once you have generated the case, it is you will get the assign you have to assign the user. So it is used to assign cases to different users. You can have different criteria for different rules. So let's go to case assignment rules. Yeah, we are having already assignment rule with a lot of rules. You just have to come here, and you can make a new assignment rule also according to your requirement and make it active. Okay, and now you can set your n number of rule entries and give them priority number. this order is like that. The first, this will be executed, second, this will be executed, third, this, fourth, this, fifth, this. According to this, you can assign into different user. Currently, I am the user for all of this stuff. So according to this, you suppose this is one, and in this scenario, I want to assign this case to user B, and in this scenario, I want to assign this case to user C. Then you can change the owner. You can just click on edit button or click on new also. Like suppose let's enter a new rule. Sort order is, let's add 6, and this is the condition. Let's suppose if my case origin equals, you can have multiple conditions here, guys. If my case origin equals, let's see, we are having these three options. If my case origin equals web, okay, user. Now you can also here select queue, a partner user. Select a user or a queue. So let's select the user. Okay, it's showing me. Let's select queue this time. Okay, queue. Service queue for only. Okay, and you can select your email template also. Let's click on save button. So now this is the sixth scenario. If we create a case with this thing, then this is going to work, and then the user will be that queue. That's how case assignment tool works. Let's come to the next slide. Auto response rules. Now, what is auto response rules? Auto response rules are like, suppose you have put a query in a case object. Okay, you put a query from web to case, from email to case, from anything. You just put a query, and that our system now got it make it stored in the case object. Right now, our service agent is not available to reply you back. Okay, but the customer always needs that that those guys should always talk to me. Right? If they talk to me, then we cannot put always a customer agent available for 24 hours. Like, yes, we are having 24-hour call center, and the support process usually runs 24 hours now in many of the businesses. But suppose there's a lunch time, or there is some any mishap or any scenario where the agent is not available. So we have to send the response to the user. At that time, case auto response rules comes into the picture. Okay, so what case auto response rule will do? Suppose the agent is not available or maybe available, it will send the email or any kind of response to your user, whether you are there or whether you are not. Okay, so the user will get satisfied that yes, yes, they have seen the stuff. Similarly, just like one example I gave you, in any registration site, if you go and register, they will show like, yes, we have make you registered, and from now we are looking for you, and we have submitted your case. Just like they have a simple scenario or email, simple template, they will send you a message or email. So that's how case auto response rule works. And now let's see it up. So just search case and you're going to get all your stuff on your market. Case auto response rules. We are having rule 1. So this is the thing through which you can make a case auto response rule. Just make it active, and these are the rule entries. You can make your rule entries. Just similarly, add sort order, add 1. Criteria are met if case owner, if case origin, let's select equals, or you can also select not equals to. In this case, what will happen? If case origin is phone, then it will not run. Okay. You can give the name, specify the name and address to include the auto response message from line. So we can set the email address and name from which you are sending the email. Like suppose everyone has shared a mail, there is one from address, right? So here we will enter the company address. It is organization web email address. You can also set this thing. This is a new feature. I mean, this is a feature inside Salesforce also. And you can set that address here. Reply to address also. Suppose they want that user should also send back the details to you. Okay, so that's the stuff. You can also select the email template, which email template you want to share. Okay, send response to all recipients. That's it. Now this option is when the user is responding you. So you want that response to send all the recipients also. That's also the same. You can click on save button. It is going to work. That's how case auto response rules work. Let's send email to response. You can create multiple rules, definitely. Email can be used only in creation. Yeah, that's also whenever you are creating a case, then also this auto response rule is going to run. Okay, means if you are editing, then it is never gonna run, and the auto response rule will not fire for manually created cases. Yes, if you are creating it manually, means you are available there on the system, right? And this is a navigation. So case response will fire only for those cases who are generated from automated process, like web to case, email to case, some web form, some custom approach. That's all. Case escalation rules. Now, guys, that's some major scenario. Escalation cases are based on criteria. Based on criteria is used when case is in the system and unnoticed for a long period of time. It might due to any reason. Any escalation rule can reassign the case to another support agent, user, or queue. Any escalation rules also can send notification email to new assignee, to the current case owner and other recipients. It will execute all validation rules, assignment rules, workflows, and much more again. So what is escalation rule? Suppose you are having a ticket, you are working on a project, or you are the agent yourself who is handling a lot of cases, and you were having a plenty of cases, and by mistake you forgot one or two cases to work on. Now this escalation rule will remind you that you have forgot this case. You can select the scenario, you can select the hours, after how many hours you have to get, I mean, notified. Okay, so that's how you can set it up. Let's see it out. Just search escalations here. These are different things. Escalation rules and case escalations. We are going to discuss both. First, let's see escalation rules. Yeah. Let's see escalation rule 1. First of all, let's edit it up. Just give the name, and when you click on new button, it is going to ask you the name and active checkbox. Click on save button. Now rule entries. Just enter your rule. Okay, you can enter your rule here and edit it up by clicking on edit button. Okay. Now this is the third option after entering the rule. Before entering the rule, you will not get this option. Once you enter the rule, only that you can enter this option, that at what rule you want what escalation action. Okay, like I have created one, age over 4. Suppose I have created the case, then after 4 hours it is going to after 4 hours it is going to escalate that yes, you are having some pending. You can reassign that case to some another user. Suppose you are busy at some particular point at some particular time, then the system this escalation rule, through this escalation you will get to know that okay, this user is busy right now, so it has been 4 hours, let's assign this case to some another user. So you can use this. Plus you can put a notification template also, so that the another user or another queue, right, you can also send a template like this is the new case that has been assigned to you. Got it? This is the notify section. Just after that, click on the save button. That's it. Now we are having one more thing. So this was the stuff. What is monitoring of escalation rules? It is used to monitor escalated cases. I told you in starting, this is escalation rules where you are going to set up the escalation rules, right? Now this is case escalation monitoring. Under monitoring, you are monitoring the case escalation. Let's click on it. This is going to show you, and just click no records to display, right? So what escalation rule we are having? Let's see. Let's make one escalation. Okay. If type equals mechanical, it is going to raise a case escalation, right? So let's go to case records. Let's create a new case. Type, where is type? Let's put mechanical and save it up. Oh, case origin phone, save. Now come to case monitoring. There it is, case monitoring. Just do not select anything and select with the particular criteria if you want to select. Search. See, that case is coming. Just created 320 am. Okay, this is some other locale. Escalate at, and this is case to escalate. What is it? 1034. See, the case we created is 1034, and this escalation is at 1034. Now, after 4 hours, it is going to escalate it according to the scenario, like email or assigned user, whatever we are going to provide according to the business. This is going to do the stuff. Escalated action, 4 hours, 0 minutes that we have set in the escalation type, right? In the escalation here. I did it. 4 hours, 0 minute. Here we have added 4. Okay, that's how 4 hours are coming. So that was the monitoring of case escalation rules, with the help of which you can monitor your different cases and at different time according to different approach with different users and queues, right? Let's get back. Are you familiar with the queues? We discussed queues in Sales Cloud also. Let me show you now. As I told you, QUE, queue. You can search this queue. See, click on it. You can create new also. Edit. These are the available members, the users, which you can put here. Okay, I'm having some another. I can add here any user. I can remove any user. I can remove myself. Okay, but then if it is blank, then nothing is related to this. Why we are making them queue? We can assign a single user. It is used for group of users. Okay. That's how queue works. And at whatever point you are selecting the user, instead of that, you can select the queue. So you can assign that particular record or that particular feature to this queue with n number of people. Because in owner, you can select only one. But if you select the queue, then you can select multiple persons at a single time. You can assign a single case. Suppose me and Mr. Anand and some another user, we want to assign a case. Then what we can do, we can just put this queue there, and that's it. Okay, that's how queue works. It is a combination or list of the user. You can use a queue where you assign single record to multiple users. Each queue can be accessed in list view. Queue members can assign each case to them. Right, definitely. Navigation, as you know, we have to go to setup, and that's it. Now that's here where picture come. Now currently in Service Cloud, what we have learned that definitely all persons are going to put the query, will come and ask the question, will raise a case. The agent, service agent will get the question, and you can route the question to particular agent. You can run the rules, you can assign the users, you can escalate, you can have web to case, multiple resources of generating the case, and like that you can have multiple stuff. But what about the solutioning part? How can you provide solution to the case, the question that is asked by the user or the customer? Any ideas, guys? Although it is written on the screen still.
Solution object.
Yep. But okay, you have said solution object. I have a question for you. If you're having a solution object, then why do we have a knowledge and knowledge article objects in Service Cloud?
We can get all the details in the knowledge, like about all the articles.
Okay, and then why do we have solution? We can also store the details in solutions. We can knowledge. I mean, knowledge is also used to provide the answers, and the knowledge object and solution is also used to provide the answers in to the queries and the case. And why solution and why knowledge?
In knowledge article to the person where we can give ready-made steps to follow, so they can follow the steps and resolve the issue.
Okay.
Knowledge articles are guide to solution.
Knowledge articles
Knowledge articles are guide to solution. So it are the steps, or we can call it a guidance for users to follow to get to the solution.
Okay, that's great. We'll get back to this definitely. Basically, solution were used in classic view and knowledge we are using in lightning view. Then how it will be converting, then we are going to discuss in the coming slide. That's why I asked you this. Okay. So basically, solution is an object in the case only. Sorry. in the Salesforce. Let's see. Let's convert this into classic view. This is it showing a solution? No. See solutions. Can you create a new record? Title, solution details. Just click. It can be draft. You can make it public. You can change the status. The case will be connected to this, and here you can attach the files also. This is the solution object. The answer is the solution. The solution is stored at, and it will be connected to the case, so you can provide the answer to that particular question. See, that's the solution search. Now, if you know that knowledge article is also similar, just it is in Lightning, right? Knowledge article is also having this same title, this same link, this details, everything is similar. Just the difference is that you are going to have it in a Lightning view. Got it? That's how knowledge, that's where knowledge comes. Salesforce knowledge is an information that is based where clients, let's first show you, wait. Come here. Knowledge. Now, if in some of your orgs, you will not see this knowledge object. So how can you see? Just go to user. Go to user, because for knowledge also you need license. Where is my user? Here. Edit. See, we gave Service Cloud user, plus we have knowledge user. Okay. So you have to select this checkbox. We are also having the license for the knowledge user. Let me show you. Okay, we are already having that. Company information. Go to licenses, feature license, knowledge user. See, knowledge user is having 2 licenses in the developer org. One is used and one is remaining because I am using one. Right? If I make it unselect, then it is going to put it back, but I want to be the knowledge user. So just go to your user, or if you want to assign a knowledge user to some another user, just open that user record, edit it up, and select this knowledge user tab. So it is going to allot you one license from your purchased one. And if you are in the developer org, then you are by default, you are having 2 licenses for the practice work. So first of all, you have to check it, select it out, then you can see the knowledge object like this.
Hey Gaurav, just a quick question. You mentioned the solution and knowledge object. So are both same? Like the solution is just the same as knowledge and vice
Basically, you
versa?
can say solution is the classic version of knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. So I can find solution object in Salesforce classic view.
Yes.
Okay.
Gaurav,
So-
is it something similar to the FAQs available in each and every websites like Amazon? So frequently
Exactly.
asked questions by customers.
Exactly. Knowledge article is just a process, is just a thing through which on community, you have seen there are multiple support sites through which you can just type a question and it will show you multiple set of questions with multiple answers, right? If you, let's take a live example. Let's Google what is Salesforce. Let's Google it out. Now, see, can you see? People also ask, these are the related questions and these are the answers, right? This is the knowledge article. Getting me? Now convert this thing in your community. You can set this knowledge article on your community, and on community, when someone is searching the stuff, then it is going to show you the answer plus the related questions. That is a knowledge article.
Okay. So suppose if someone is having so some repeated case is being raised by some another user, different user, so that can be found in the knowledge article. Is that
there is a difference between the solutioning of the case and knowledge article? There's a difference. Solutioning and knowledge means you are providing an answer to the particular case. But knowledge article means providing a set of questions which user can randomly search on your community or your website.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Got
mean,
it.
exactly speaking, if a customer wants to know about some information about a particular project
Exactly.
and they are just Googling it, they're getting some information, that is a
Right.
similar kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Knowledge article is a similar kind of Google of Salesforce.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Got it,
point
got
is that Google is for all of the business, but knowledge article is providing a functionality for you to create a Google for your business. Anyone can search your business in an easy way. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what questions and what things you want to show, that's again totally dependent on the business. Getting me? Now to provide the solution, connecting knowledge to a particular case, that's a separate stuff. Like this is case and sorry, I'm again back to case. Knowledge. Yeah, this was the knowledge. No? Let's click on knowledge. Like see this. Let's edit it up. Okay, I think I have published it. Yeah, so can we edit it up? Now let's create one more knowledge. New. So you can create your own article here. And this is a custom field article. What you can do, you can create your custom rich text field. So you can design your whole, like suppose, let's write. Oh my God. This is Salesforce session and make it bold. Okay, now session is bold. You can add your HTML comments. Click on source. See, it is adding bold comments. Right now, enter it. See, it is showing break segment. So you can design your page. You can add your images. You can add multiple things in the information. And whenever you show, it is going to show the title, URL name, every stuff, and you can connect it to the particular question. And it is going to show this rich text area, or if you design a complete HTML page in this, it is going to show you that complete HTML page on your as your answer. Okay.
One quick question, and if a customer wants to search for any particular thing or something else, if he tries to search with a particular keyword like Salesforce or session or something else, only this kind of knowledge articles created by ourselves will be getting displayed, or how it will be reaching to the customer actually?
Yeah, definitely. If customers search any word in that, then it is going to search your org, what the data you have created against that thing. Okay, and only from that it is going to show, because it is your community. It is not Google. Community means that if you go to setup and you can create your community, so with the help of that stuff, you can you are creating your community. It's your Google. Okay, so you have to create the data for that also if someone is searching, right? So that knowledge, that search will use to search your knowledge articles, not any others, or not anything from Google.
He is searching for a particular keyword or something else. So what are all the knowledge articles created by yourself? So everything will be visible to the user for that particular search.
That's dependent on the search criteria. There are data categories also which you will create while creating your community. With the help of those data categories, you can assign some questions and some queries to your question to your answers. So that scenario you have to set that, and which search or which scenarios you have to show what's up. So that's how you have to set it up. You have to set it up to the admin. Like if you go here and search knowledge, see you are having data categories assignments. So you have to do correct generate data categories. Then you have to do mapping of data categories with particular knowledge article. So that's how it's going to work.
Thanks.
Okay, that's what written is here. Salesforce knowledge and information base, where clients can contain known as articles and rapidly find and show the articles they require. In the wake of the designing Salesforce knowledge in the organization, clients can write, alter, publish, and one more thing, guys. Once you make your knowledge record, just save. After this, it will be not be visible. Once you will, you have to publish. So make it published. Publish now, schedule, publish on. You can also set the schedule that make it on so and so time or so and so date. Publish now, publish. Once you will publish it, once you have to, definitely after completing it, you have to publish it, then only you can use it. Okay. Categories, articles, and these.
So knowledge articles are basically a standard set of questions,
Yeah.
right?
It is a standard functionality, but you can create your custom set of questions. It's your business, so you will decide now what questions and what answers you are going to provide in the knowledge article, right?
Yes. So for an example, particular industry, if there are a set of standard questions, so those
Yeah,
are the
they can
questions.
exactly.
Mhm.
Very true.
Gaurav, is there any governance limit is applicable for this setting up this knowledge portal, knowledge block within the portal?
The limitations is only with the license. You have to buy the knowledge license.
Gaurav, one more thing. You spoke about KPIs. So will you be covering that also in this?
KPI means sorry, what?
Key performance indicator in this service cloud you're talking about. In the first slide when you're showing.
API integrations, you are saying.
No, not KPI integrations. You just said that it is useful in KPIs. So I was just thinking.
KPI, I think misunderstood.
It was there in some first few slides.
Well, let's complete. Then we will see about what you are talking. Okay?
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah. So that's knowledge. Now, guys, do you know what is live agent?
It's like the kind of chatbot where
Exactly. So let me show you. Okay, we are having this here. And setup. Okay, we are having this live chat app. This is the custom app, guys, which I have created. And I'm having this. This is showing you offline, right? Where is this? So currently, if I refresh or anything, this is offline. I can click. If I'm clicking, nothing is happening. So now this is my live chat app, which I have created custom. And just click on chat, make it online. That's it. Now, if I refresh it, see, it's showing online. Now just click on it. Wait. See, chat button test. It is showing you a request that someone is trying to connect. Let's click on accept. See, by default, messages came. Gaurav Kapoor account owner is coming, and a blank record page is open now. Right. So now, let's type here, hi, and send. See, we got a hi message here. Let's type here, yes, please. We got yes, please here from my side. Okay. If we again say send anything, then it is coming here. So it's a complete chat process, live agent. Got it. Now you can set this up in your system, and then there will be a default code which you can send to any of your website, and then through that user can contact you. Got it. What is this test? I opened just this test. Let me show you what is this test. That's the file, guys. See, test.html. That's the basic file with this stuff and this stuff. Now, how you can make this stuff? Let's have a demo. First of all, make it offline. If you guys make it offline, see, the chat is ended automatically. You cannot chat. Plus, if you refresh this, see, you are again offline. Okay. Now let's get back to the slide. Very slide. Yeah.
Gaurav, where did you generated that HTML? Is it within the Salesforce or?
Yeah, we are going to have a live demo that how we did it. This is the stuff. So just see.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the demo for live agent. Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, yeah. And the main thing, guys, why I'm going to Classic, because live chat you can only set in the Classic. That's the limitation. So just type here chat. See, we are having chat settings, skills, chat buttons, invitations, chat agents, configuration, and deployments. These are the main stuff which you want. Okay, so what I'm having here, let's close it. Okay, I'll leave knowledge test, leave. This is service console, leave, and let's make it in a separate page. Let's open this, guys. Chat settings, skills, chat buttons, invitations, chat agent configurations, deployments. These are the 5 steps what we need. And this is also written here. Chat settings, skill, chat button, invitations, chat agent configuration, deployment, and application. Got it? So first of all, before doing anything, you have to go to chat settings and enable it. Okay. Without enabling it, you cannot use your live chat feature inside the Salesforce Service Cloud. Okay.
Mr. Gaurav, sir, can we enable that lightning page because the old version cannot catch up with our system?
Sorry, can you please repeat? Your voice was low.
No, that lightning experience page is not enabled. That can we switch that? Because the same settings will not be appear in normally we using lightning page. So
That's what I told you. That is the limitation that this live chat is not available in a lightning view.
Gaurav Kapoor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Gaurav Kapoor. Please ask. Okay. Actually, this chart setting is only available in the classic view. For lightning, we are having the omni channel, which are going to discuss this, which we are going to discuss after chat, live agent. Okay. Thank you for the mute. Yeah. So first you have to enable it. After that, you have to go to skills. These are the skills which separate agents can have. We are already having one, chat type skill 1. You just have to click on new button and type the name, what is the skill name, and just click on the assigned user, and you have to select the profiles, select the users, and to whatever profiles you want to assign these settings. Just click on save button. Your skill is created. After that, let's create button, chat button. See, this is going to provide you all the functionality to create the button. This is chat button. Just provide the name, developer name, language. You can also provide separate language because the Salesforce, you can use Salesforce in any of the country, right? So this is providing you the language issue also. Here, select the choice. This is going to show you all the skills which you have created. We have created one skill, so you can create one skill. You can select from n number of skills, what skills are available for this chat button. Okay. Now this is site of resources. Now what is this? Online image and offline image. If you are online, see, currently we are offline, so it is showing this offline image. If we were online, then it was showing some another image. Wait, I'll show you again. If you were online, it was showing some another image. So here you can put this image. Now you cannot put this image directly. If you click on this search button, it is going to show you static resources. Inside Salesforce, we are having static resources. In static resources, you have to upload the image, and you can use that image here and put it here, so that if you are online or offline, according to that, it will show you different images. You can also put the text inside your code, which we have pasted in the notepad. Just click on save button. After that, come to chat agent configuration. This is configuration. You can configure your chat agent here. Sneak a peek. Sneak a peek means when we were writing. One second, let me show you here. Duplicate. Sorry. Yeah. Let me make it online. See, now image will get changed because we have different image for the online. See, now click on it. Come back to this. Accept it. We have accepted it. Now we are ready to chat. So we were discussing sneak a peek. What is sneak a peek? See, we are typing hi. We haven't sent it yet, but see, you can see. So you can see what another guy is typing. In WhatsApp, have you seen those 3 dots flirt like up and down, up and down? So it will show you that some other guy is typing. So they have not enabled sneak a peek, with the help of which you can also see that what other user is typing. That is the security feature Salesforce is used, but here you can add this feature that you can see what customer is typing without even sending. Before sending, I haven't sent it out. See, whatever I'm typing, you can see here. If I delete, you can also see what I'm deleting. Okay, without sending, you can see that what I'm writing. That is the sneak a peek option. Request sound enabled. Once your request, I don't know that whether you were hearing that bell sound or not, but I was able to hear that someone is trying to connect me. It was ringing just like a phone. Okay. Disconnect sound enabled. Whenever anyone disconnects, you will get a different kind of, just like shutdown and shut on sound with the laptop. Notification enabled. Whenever someone send you the chat and you are not seeing that screen, it will send you the notification with a bell icon. That's how it works. Auto greeting. See, once we accepted it, then that user automatically got this text. Welcome to chat custom agent in chat agent configuration. So we can set this text here. We can send anything. We can use any merge field also from any record. If you want to add any name, we can use any stuff here. Whatever we will write here, the user will get automatically once we will accept that. Okay. And these are some more options which you can serve. These are the users which you can select here. These are the profiles to which you can assign these things. For the permissions, obviously, you have to provide this stuff. This is chat. More options you can serve. There are a lot of options in here which you can set according to the business requirement. You can also set chat transfer to agent enable, chat transfer to skill enable. You have to enable all this stuff. Click on save button. Now, once this chat agent configuration is done, you have to configure a lot of stuff here. Create chat deployment. Just deploy it. That's it. Now, and yes, sorry, this chat button. Once you will complete it, click on save button. See, it is providing you this stuff, right? Copy it, open your notepad. This is the same stuff when someone was asking that from where did you got this stuff? From chat button, after clicking save button on chat button, copy this all stuff, create your one more notepad file, paste this stuff. That's it. Wait, just paste this stuff. Now, when you are completed with your chat deployment after clicking save button, there will be one more script here. Copy this and paste it. That's how I'm getting this test HTML. That's it. Just click on it with some name with HTML .html format, and that thing is gonna work for you. Got it? Now that's how we can text anything. I'm getting the sound in my speakers. If maybe you cannot hear this, but I have got a sound that you have got a text. See, I can get it, and you can end this chat anytime. End chat. And if you go there, see, you cannot. The agent has ended the chat. The user can also end this chat. The user has also have the option. This is live agent. Now the question is how we can do in. Where is the slide? Yeah. This was a demo for the live agent. The question is, what do you understand by omni-channel is service cloud? Do you guys know what is omni-channel?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain, please?
Omni-channel is something like, assigning the task as per their knowledge or skills.
Then why is omni-channel there? We are having the live agent that's doing the same stuff. At that point also, we are also assigning the task, or sorry, we are also assigning the skills to different agents and doing the chat for that thing.
So I think in live agent, you have to do it manually, right?
No. I mean, see, omnichannel is also for the chatting purpose, and live agent is also for the chatting purpose. But omnichannel comes in the picture for the queues plus your service console. Now, let's come to the picture. First of all, let's close this all stuff. Close, and let's open now service console. Okay. Service console. In the bottom, can you guys see omni-channel? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
So in the bottom, see there is a omni-channel which is offline. Okay, now let's make it
Offline.
online. Let's make it available. It is logging in. It is logged in. Now let's come back to this and see it is showing me offline. See, let's refresh it. It's not getting online. Okay, so let's work with now omni-channel. You cannot work with live agent in this history. Okay, you have to make your omni-channel here. And if you are going to your service console and might be you will not see omni-channel here. So how to set it up? I'll tell you. Okay, first of all, let's set the omni-channel. Where is my slide? So this is the stuff for, sorry. Yeah, omni-channel. First of all, as live agent, you have to go to omni-channel settings, setup. Omni-channel settings. Enable your omni-channel. First, you have to enable it, because before enabling it, you will not see it anywhere. Not on the service console and not on the place from where you can add it on the service console. By default, you will not get omni-channel on your service console. You have to add it, but the place from where you have to add it, you will not see it there. I'll show you the place from where you can add it. Let me show you first. Go to App Manager. Now currently guys, we are showing the step that how to add omni-channel on your service console. You have to go to App Manager and here search for service console. This is sales console. Yeah, here. This is service console. Edit. On the right side, there will be an arrow through which you can edit the tab. Yeah. So here come to utility items. Whatever items you are seeing in this area, notes, history, these are your utility items. So you have to edit that app and go to your utility items desktop only, and you can add utility item. We are having history, notes, and omni-channel. I have added omni-channel. You can click on add utility item, and here you can search omni-channel. After enabling that omni-channel only. Without enabling it, you will not be able to see it. And after enabling, if you are not seeing it, just refresh your page. You will be able to see. Just click on it, and it will get added here. I've already added it. Okay, you can move it up and down also. Once you will add it, just that's it. You have to open your service console, refresh it, and you will be able to see. Okay, now how to use it? Let's get back to that. First of all, we have enabled the omni-channel setting, right? Now what we are having next step? Routing configuration, presence status, presence configuration, right? Because this omni-channel is having 1 or 2 hidden steps, so guys, keep eyes on this. First of all, we have to open routing configuration. Let's open routing configuration in new step. Then we have presence status. Then we have there is one more, presence configuration. Okay. Now we have to make one routing configuration. Let's enable it. Currently, see it is let's edit it out. So it is asking for the user and queue. You always have to give it a queue, but do not give it here. Let's open queues. I have opened queues. Click on it. See, I have provided a routing configuration one. Whenever you make a queue for specifically for this omni-channel, you have to make a queue, and after making routing configuration, when you make this and save it, do not select queue here, because if you select the queue, it will not allow your routing configuration to get added with the queue at this point. So do not select it here. Just fill all the mandatory details. It is routing priority, just like another priorities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this model? Least active, most available, you can select it out. And this is the push timeout settings. Means suppose you have connected to a user, but the user is not responding for this much of seconds, then it will automatically get disconnected. Okay. And this is the capacity load also, the number of users can handle. Just click on save button. Once you save the routing configuration, then you have to come to the queues, click on this magnifying glass, and this magnifying glass is going to show you all the routing configuration and select it. So now that routing configuration is with this stuff. And when you are making this queue, mind it guys, that you have to select these case, chat session, and chat transcript. These are the standard objects that you have to add for the omni-channel. Without this, omni-channel is not going to work. Okay. And you have to again select the user, the basic functionality to the basic steps to make the queue. That's it. With this routing configuration setup, just click on save button. Now we are having presence status. We've seen, I shown you that when we were clicking on this, we were having offline and available. Offline is by default, and we have made one available status. With the help of this available, it will be visible to you once you make the new option here. It will be visible to you in this after you provide the permission to this presence presence status to your profile. Like suppose, let's make one new. Online, I said online, and you can select here. Okay, let's make away and busy. Put in busy. That's it. Click on save. Now see if you are coming on the service console. Let's refresh it. Let's come to omni-channel. See, your away is not visible here. These are the statuses. So what you have to do now, search your profile. I'm having system admin profile. Search your profile here. System administrator. I'm having system administrator. Might be you are having something or other, so you can test it out. Just search. Go to. You can go to your object settings also. Just search your presence status access. Okay, see available is now available. We have assigned only available. Click on edit button. See, we are having this option, but it is not enabled. So just add it and click on save button. Now it is enabled for your profile. Just go to your this and let's refresh your service console one more time after providing the permission. Click on omni-channel. See, now you can see away. Got it? That's how you can make the presence status here. And after that, you have to go to your profile, provide the permission, and then you can user status here. Now see what you can do. You can do like suppose you are having multiple agents, and for other agents you want to provide different statuses. So you can make this presence status and assign to different profiles a permission set and assign that permission sets a profile to the different kind of users. So that's how the user can have different statuses. Okay. After that, you have once you have set the presence status, come to the presence configuration. One, you have configured this. We are having the default one. You can use the default one. It's the best option. If you are having if you're not having any other special custom requirement, just set it up, edit it, and click on save button. If you want to change any stuff. After that, currently also it is we are online and it is not showing us. See, we are offline. So what we have to do? Go back to there. Now you have to go to chat routing setting again. That's the hidden step, guys. Chat button. Okay, chat button and invitations. Yeah. Routing. Open this. Click on edit button. Now in the place of choice, you will see that you are having one omni-channel option. Just select omni-channel. Select the queue. Now select the queue which you have made. And just online, offline will be same. Just click on save button. Now this chat button automated invitation, the same link, you do not have to again copy the link. Just use the same link and now you can, it is online and now just refresh it. Now it's online because now we are using omni-channel instead of Lightning. Just click on it. Now we are going to have a request here. See, we got it. Just click on here. He has accepted it up. Just click I. We got the request here. See, we got higher. Now, if you're sending anything, hello. Sorry. Then we have got hello here. Now, Omnichannel provides one more functionality. Suppose I want to have an attachment from the user. Then this is the option. You can click on this. You can select the record here directly. You can select any kind of record. Suppose I select any case. And in this case, please share the requirement. Then select the case request. See, now you will get upload and drag a file here. So what you can do, you can just drag a file. It will automatically get connected to the record which I've selected here. So you can get the attachment from the user through this way. You can also use this feature. This is chat button transfer chat. You can transfer this chat to some another user. So the same chat is going to transfer to some another user on the another screen. That's how omnichannel works, guys. And once if we make it, if we make it offline, see, close, and if you refresh it out, it's offline. That's how omnichannel works. Instead of live agent, you can use it in Lightning in your service console, and you know how to add this omnichannel. That was totally about the omnichannel, and these were the parts which we were covering in service console. As the time is also up, so
Gaurav, can you move to just 35th slide, please?
35th. Yeah. Okay, you want to note it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
And Gaurav, one more question I have, like, what is that Einstein board there? Is it something different from Omnichannel or how it is?
See, Einstein board is totally a separate. We are having an Einstein cloud that is totally depending on the analysis. So it is for that thing you have to read the Einstein functionality provided by the Salesforce. That's a
So are you going
thing.
to cover in this program or it is something that
No. We are summing up here. We are not going to cover for this. Definitely, we are going to provide Einstein tutorial also if that is available in this 100 days training program. Or if not, then definitely we are going to connect with Mr. Anand, and we are going to come with a new session very soon for Einstein also, as you said, and maybe on multiple different clouds and different functionalities.
Okay, thanks a lot, Gaurav.
Yeah, anytime, Sandeep.
Hello, Gaurav, one doubt.
Could you please share this sheet with us? Yeah, PPT.
Definitely, I'll share this Service Cloud PPT also with Mr. Anand, and Mr. Anand is going to share you. Or else you can reach us out in groups everywhere, or you can reach us out on LinkedIn.
Okay, sure, Gaurav. Thank you.
Gaurav, one doubt. Are you hearing, Gaurav?
Yeah. Someone, Krish.
I have a doubt on that. You told this functions that live web to case, email to case, like that.
Yeah.
All that functions, how it is working for only user or?
No. For public agent, for public users.
It's set for third party use.
Yes, definitely. At the end, as I told you, that email to case is going to provide you one link, and web to case is going to provide you one form. So you can paste those things in some another third party websites, and to that guest users will be able to provide you the case.
Okay.
Can enter the details, and you will have the case in your system. That's totally for the guest users. Definitely, this web to case, email to case are mostly we use for the guest users.
Okay. And the solution is how you are assigning that solution for.
Sorry,
how the solution you are assigning that is how it is working. Means it is also third party user.
I got it. Whenever you got a question, you have to provide them answer, and for the answers, you are having your solution object for the solution object and knowledge object. So with the data categories and all the stuff, you can assign those solution to particular cases, and that's the automated process. That's a very deep digging into it. You have to learn that whole process. Hopefully next time we are going to show the session on that also. Someone was said that the guy was copying it. If you have copied the live agent, I would request you to copy these steps also for omni-channel.
Sure, done.
Okay, and if it's done, write the point that after setting presence status, you have to enable it in your profile. Okay, and after setting routing configuration, you have to make one queue. And after presence configuration is done, you have to change your chat button and invitation setting from choice to omnichannel. These are the hidden steps.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Great, guys. So thank you for today's session. Now, Mr. Anand will proceed with.
Thanks a lot, Gaurav. The session was really nice. We got many. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Gaurav.
Thanks. Definitely, we will be coming for you with some more sessions if Mr. Anand gives us some new chance.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav, for a wonderful and
anytime
session. I think everyone in our group members have learned a lot in this 4 hours, all about Sales and Service Cloud. It's wonderful with the demo. Thanks a lot.
So guys, we what we do, like, we try to compact the Sales and Service Cloud for the 4 hours, because Service and Service Cloud is very deep if we go into a deep elaboration. But I hope that with today's session, you can tell anyone that what is Sales Cloud and what is Service Cloud, as I promised, right?
Sure, 100%.
Yes, Gaurav, yes.
That's the great thing, guys. That's a great thing, because if you know the main top of the building view, then you can get into the rooms, right?
I hope everyone has learned a lot from you. Once again, thank you. Once again, thank you all the members who are here for last 4 hours for learning. So thank you. If you have any doubts or anything, you can post it in our Telegram group. We'll be posting the recording and as well as the PPT in our Telegram group. But tomorrow, next week, we'll be having a session on admin part. That will be 16-hour session is going to be there. Next week and upcoming week also, we'll be having admin and configuration thing. That too will be sponsored by 360 Cloud.
Yeah.
So we're very thankful for the sponsor 360 Cloud and Demand Blue for supporting our team to learn many things. Thank you, Gaurav, and thank you, 360.
So guys, have a nice time, guys, and hopefully we will meet very soon for the next upcoming sessions.